Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode here on the Hermitcraft Mesified server. We're flying through the sky and you can see how this works when you line it up correctly because you can see the arrow shoot behind you. Oh, that one bounced off me bum, that one bounced off as well. And I don't have the right angle, so I've got to press F3 again. We're going to change it to just above. And now it should hit us. No, because we're recording it's going to refuse to. Amazing. Let's fly over Beef's area as we head back to our base. I have got a mission for today, something that we're going to do that involves crafting some new arrows, and it's to do with this boost bow thing as well, because you can see here I start to lose a little bit of health as we fly around in the sky, and it's a really cool idea, and we are way too fast. Can I spin around in here? Yes, I can. Safe landing, no damage. I call that a great landing. Awesome. Alright, well, we have a plan. As I said, we're going to be going to the end dimension because we need to get some dragon's breath, and this is something that I actually did maybe in a live stream or maybe when I was hanging out with the other hermits fighting the end dragon a long time ago. Collected some dragon's breath, don't remember where I put it, and we need to include it over here. No, over there. That one is for rabbit's foot. We'll have to think about that one another time. We want to craft with some dragon's breath, or brew would be the correct word, wouldn't it? And I made a little bit of a mistake with this brewing stand, and if in the future you see a tutorial on how to build this design, except, you know, compacted and improved, it won't include this problem. And I don't know how I didn't spot this earlier, and I kind of feel like maybe when I rebuilt it, I got something wrong. We have hoppers pointing into these brewing stands, and the ingredients come from this side over here. Now the idea is when we're brewing potions here, we then lock the hopper and go, we're done. The items are then going to flow over the water into the next hopper. But it also locks the hopper in a way which means the items can't go down into the brewing stand. So you actually need two sets of those. But I guess, you know, you can pick your ingredients for the next one, and then the next one, and then, you know, when you're done with all of them, then you can flick these off and they continue brewing. But I don't think that's very good. And I'm going to leave it at that for this design. It's all settled into this room. We've done all the building and aesthetics. I've rebuilt this thing about 3 or 4 times, it feels like. And so we're going to leave that one alone. Anyway, I'm actually going to just brew up a couple of potions here. We're going to get prepared to go to the end and fight the end dragon. Before we do any of that, we're going to have to visit the witch farm, and the sound of the elytra has gone, which makes flying kind of difficult. It's such a good indicator of what speed you're going at. Obviously, the reason we're over here is for bottles, and we got an insane amount of them, which means we may as well spend our time in the end getting an insane amount of these. I actually just realised that I think it only limits you to about 10 uses per dragon's breath, so this would actually probably take hours upon hours. Do you know what? I am going to just take that many and see how many I feel like filling up. We'll definitely get a few stacks, but it could actually take a while. It's not like you can just fill all of these up from one dragon's breath. This isn't the end, this is the never. And we are once again using the magic of sound. Although I couldn't use it before because it wasn't working with the elytra, but I can hear a ghast. And in order to fight this end dragon, we of course need some end crystals, and I just used up the last of my ghast tears, making some regeneration potions. I need to put this on my offhand, quick, before he shoots me, because if I hold the looting sword, we will get the looting effect, and we will get more ghast tears. We've done this before, we've learned this lesson, and look at that, more ghast tears. Excellent, 2 from that one, fantastic. I can hear another one. It's stopped moaning now. Anyway, I noticed this little box out here. I don't know what this is. You have come for Logalas. Isn't this something that happened quite some time ago? First you must pass the test, you will probably die, so leave your stuff in the chest. You are not allowed to break blocks. Remember to set your spawn. Was there a bed there once? Don't set your spawn in the nether, it doesn't work like that. I think this is something from ages ago that involved some other people on the server, I don't know. Oh, hello, I think that one just spawned, like literally, because I haven't heard a sound. Let's go check it. Did we get any? It looks like we got none. No ghast tears. Time for a leap of faith. Good thing I got the elytra. Actually, it makes getting around the nether so much easier. You know, I challenged this gal to build this place out of purple originally, and now he's torn it down. He never liked that purple. Apparently I looked at an enderman. That's no good. That's not what I want to do when we come over here. We checked this place out last episode, didn't we? And there were some anti-spoiler walls over here, so we're going to check it out again and see what's behind the walls. Hopefully those guys don't make too much of a racket. And yeah, this will be fine. So we can break this now and go through to the other side. What is in here then? Go through a couple of space doors. And there's nothing. Oh. This side is slightly terrifying because there are these open gaps where you can just easily run off and fall into the void. And also there is a whole bunch of storage here of ender pearls in. Pretty sure this is where the ender pearls go to. In fact, out here you can see that there is a hopper line. So, the enderman can escape as well. We learned that last time though. They can get in the outside of this area. And on the inside as well, apparently. So being the genius that I am, I brought a pumpkin with me. Hello, are you angry? No, because I am deceiving you. You think I'm a pumpkin man. You ain't got no problem with the pumpkin man. And it's time to plug the resource pack that I did a video on a while ago. I'll probably put a thing in the top corner for you to check this out. And we're going to go with the pumpkin visibility. And for you guys, I set these different transparencies. It turns out once the texture is transparent, doesn't really matter how much buy. These seem to all look identical when you use it in game, which is kind of strange. It doesn't make too much sense to me. And now our visibility is just a little bit better, and that makes the fight a little bit easier, I guess, when you've got a pumpkin head on. This is actually kind of cheaty, isn't it? I think I might do this without the pumpkin. I know I'm going to get loads of comments about it, so yeah, we'll actually pass on that one. But anyway, I've got my, let's see, various health potions in case I get into a tricky situation. We've got that in case we fall off of the edge and need an emergency recover, and the fire potion shouldn't be of too much use here. So with all of those things selected, what we also need is some, well, let's keep that there just in case. Let's put some glass bottles down. Right, so before we do that, let's also summon in the end dragons. So one on each side. And yes, there is a way to do this with two of them. I know, I made a video about it. However, I really can't be bothered to do the whole dispenser thing. I'm happy to do it like this. This is going to make a ton of noise. I know it always does. For some reason, the end dragon doesn't abide by normal volume rules, does it? And now we can start the fight and start collecting our dragon's breath. Oh, as this is going on, we are accumulating a lot of dragon's breath here. So let's see how many they're good for. Hi, I think we just got hit by the end dragon. Okay, was that about 7 potions in total? So you can clearly see this will take a while. Anyway, I've been focused on getting rid of the crystals at the top at the moment. I didn't bring a water bucket. I didn't bring any ladders. As much as I tried to be prepared, I just couldn't think of anything at all, really. So I came over here with what little I had on me. It just makes the fight more interesting. Yeah, that's the reason that we didn't bring it. Rendog's trash. Is there anything good in here? No. One man's trash is another one's gold. As you've seen, I've died a whole bunch of times. Whoa, stay away from me, guy. And the mistake I made is I didn't have my blast protection chest plate on, so now we can get a little bit closer to the crystals when we destroy them. But all of the crystals have been destroyed, and is an enderman looking at me? Occasionally you will hear that sound, and it's just the end dragon. But anyway, I've discovered something that I wasn't aware of. Now this guy fires a dragon's breath when he's down the bottom here. I apologise for the noise. No matter how far you turn down your volume, it gets insanely loud when this guy's around. And hey, use the bottles. Now look at how many we're filling up right here. Quite a lot. And now it's stopped. Sometimes that goes on for a lot longer. Do it again, buddy. So he's going to stay there. He's going to keep giving us the dragon's breath. And we can fill up stack after stack this way. So I think actually what we can do is fill up our entire inventory. So we've died a couple of times already. What we can do is bring back a chest full of bottles, right? Are you with me? So we'll probably die again in the end, and then we'll be able to bring back a lot more supplies. Got to be careful where I put that chest, though, because this guy can destroy chests and many other blocks as well. Oh! Oh, well that's it. I think it's time to call it a day here. I have my strength potion with me. And you've got to be careful getting this close. I think we'll do it the next time the Ender Dragon drops down. There we go. So, I've got to wrap up the fight here. I've only got 19 apples left as well, which is slightly worrying. And I've got a regen potion. I'm scared to sort of look up too often, because there's usually an Enderman in the distance that you cross your crosshairs with, which is never any good. Look, it's coming back in. Right, it's time to finish this one off. Strength potion, engage the sword. Come on now, serious damage. Whoa, I just started taking a lot of damage. Let's try and get back in there. This is it, peeps. Bam, we've done it. See you later, Ender Dragon. Don't have to worry about the threat of this guy destroying our chest with all our items in. Also, loads of XP. Quick, grab it before it falls through the portal. Do you know what? We don't really need this XP, but since I lost all of mine... Oh yeah, and we get an elytra as well. I forgot about that. Well, hey, we got another elytra. I've only ever had one, really. So that's a good thing. And yes, my items are all the way over here. I was slightly alarmed because I needed to go over here and get potions from time to time. And if the Ender Dragon flew over here, it could destroy it. So we've got this stuff as well. I'm going to take back the valuables with me. And so we have made it out safe and sound with a ridiculous amount of Dragon's Breath, which is just fantastic. Man, I would never have got that much if I didn't know about the whole thing with the dragon sitting in the middle. That is a great tip. I hope all of you pick that one up if ever you need some Dragon's Breath yourself. Don't forget that one. It really makes a big difference. So this is just fantastic. This is a good way to get a lot of potions going. And as I'm doing this, I am thinking of ways I can revise this. So I reckon there'll be a tutorial in the future where I show you an improved version of this. But what I love about this right here is the water. You can see the ingredients go across, which is exactly what I wanted. It looks so cool. I love it. It's like, yep, okay, now that one's ready to go. So we lock it, and that will actually stop the brewing. As I pointed out, this thing has a big flaw in it, and it was one that I sort of thought I fixed at one point, and then apparently I haven't. We can also hear the note blocks going off to let us know that the items are coming through. So there's the nether wart, and this last one here we can simply just leave alone, you know? So there go all of the ingredients, just the Dragon's Breath, bam, and now we can flick on all of these. Now hopefully I've done them all correctly. If I've made a mistake here or misunderstood something, this just might be a little bit silly, but now they should all get brewing. Ah, I forgot gunpowder, so yeah. Fair enough, fair enough. The same thing would have happened, right? All the items would have gone through. I think there were 7 in total. And unfortunately, I forgot something. So the last bit I've got to do manually, I guess, which is to swap that over and put in some gunpowder. Gotta love those potion sounds. They sound so cool. I love it. I really love all the little sound effects that have been added. How did an empty... Oh! Do you end up with an empty bottle? That's interesting. That'll actually throw a spanner in the works, so to speak, because now you've got to take that out manually. So this design also doesn't work with Dragon's Breath. There are some things in this game that you just got to learn by doing, you know what I mean? I could have gone into like a creative world and finished all of this design up, and I would have not learned that, because I think this is the first time I'm actually brewing Dragon's Breath stuff in survival. I've done it in creative, but I didn't remember that the glass bottles get left behind, so that's just another thing I'm going to remember. Now we've got loads of these, and of course we take them out, immediately the water bottles will appear. Also pay attention to the blaze powder on the side. The system is working, the blaze powder is still full up. So now we've got loads of these lingering potions. We'll throw one down for fun. We can walk over here and get healed up, although my health is already full, so we just wasted that one. And we can plop these in here. I do have a stack of arrows as well, and we can make arrows of healing. Aha! You might know what we're up to now. So I've taken to the skies, and the server's just a little bit slow loading today, which is kind of awkward. We're going to use our boost bow. Going to whack ourselves in the butt like we just did, and that causes us to take damage. So our hearts are starting to disappear, and when the saturation runs out, then they won't be able to regenerate. Let's also get a little bit of height with all of this boost that we're picking up. Do you know, I want to sort of instinctively stay around where we can see stuff, but I think for the sake of this video, let's just focus on what we're actually doing here and fly up high into the sky so we can hit ourselves over and over again. So now we're losing health, and the way to regain health is to eat, but you could also use these arrows that we just crafted. Hi, look at me! And the way to swap them around is like that, because now we're going to use the health one. So I want to hit my... Wait a minute, did that even work? Let's get the angle correct. And here's the thing, now we're going to waste some of them until we hit ourselves. Oh, the effect doesn't get passed on. There's no instant health. All of this and there's no instant health too. Oh, that really sucks. Well, I was thinking it was such a cool way to go about doing it. You would simply swap these over whenever you needed to heal, rather than eating. You know, you can still do both, but this will allow you to fly for longer, in my opinion. And we have just gone all the way out into the middle of nowhere. We need to turn around and make our way back. That was really disappointing. We have been going to the end, doing all of these things, specifically for that, so that we could have a look at what it's like to fly with some of these arrows instead. Now, oh, that looks amazing. Now, obviously, we got the problem of not every arrow hits you, but the fact that it doesn't pass on the effect, that, I mean, that is really disappointing. I don't know why it isn't doing that, to be fair. I really don't like that we lose the flying sounds. That kind of sucks, you know. I love that sound. It lets you know how fast you're going. Obviously, you've got a visual representation of that, but the sound really helps as well. And another problem that we face with flying like this is the amount of damage that it does to our armor, but I really can't think of a way to avoid that at all at the moment. So that was kind of anticlimactic, wasn't it? We're not done just yet, we're not giving up, and a little FYI for you, you can put in a potion at the last second and it will actually get swapped over to, you know, the next one. I also wanted to make that stronger. Oh. So if you find yourself in the same situation, put in the glowstone first so it starts brewing, and then you can take your time swapping these over. So we ain't giving up that easy. Let's get a couple of punches, down goes our health, and of course we can use regeneration. Now let's focus on this and we'll talk about why the other one didn't work in a moment. I've now got the regeneration effect, which is giving me back some health, so we can still use this to climb up and regain health at the same time. Now that was regeneration 1, let's use regeneration 2 and see how much faster it is. Well actually we'll want that one to run out, and now we have full health, so we would use the regular one. So we're still travelling to wherever we're going. You know, if you wanted to go a really long journey, like to an ice biome or something, then you could use this, and then, you know, you're making good progress, you're high up in the sky, you want to use this to get altitude, and then you want to sort of, yeah, you go invisible when you're this high up, then you sort of want to cruise downwards. But now you want to regain some health while you're doing this as well. Don't want to rely on just eating food. And look at that. Regeneration 2 actually not too much faster. That is regen 2, isn't it? Oh, you only get 2 seconds, so it's pretty pants actually. Well, there you go. That's interesting. So regeneration 2 on the arrows are really pants. Yeah, this reminds me of what I've seen a lot with Mojang, is that things get like implemented into the game, but it also looks like they haven't really then gone, now let's go and use that and see what happens. Because once you do a little bit of investigating, you discover things like this. 2 seconds. I mean, it's completely useless then, being regeneration 2. Anyway, let's talk about what this is. I realised after a while that this is a bug that I've covered in a video. Which direction should I be going in right now? I'm not sure. I think it's this way. We're at Cubs Lightning Fan. I tell you what, we will actually drop down here and go into the Nether. Ah, it's this one here. Okay, for those of you that have seen us roaming through the Nether, more likely you would have seen that in a live stream. Yeah, been past this place many times, but was never sure where that portal went to. Anyways, I've not only covered this bug in a snapshot video, I've also covered it in myth busting as well. In fact, we discovered the bug in myth busting because we did some testing, and this is going back to the hub, right? Yes, it is. So these ones right here, they're not like regular potion effects. They don't give you a little status on the left there. They like happen instantaneously, and for some reason those weren't being applied, you know, to the mob or to the player when you attack them with these bows. And we discovered that in myth busting, and then they fixed it in a snapshot. Of course, the server is still on 1.10 and it's not on 1.11 yet. However, when the new features come out for 1.11, there is a good chance that we may end up playing on that. And in that one it is fixed, so in the future this will work with the instant health, but for now we also have the regeneration. So I've done a bit of work on our potion setup again, just this M bit right here which needed finalising, and actually the system that we had broke, so I put in a safety measure, and this is something I sort of planned on but then forgot about, ended up brewing tons of potions and it went wrong like I thought it would. The safety measure are these lamps right here. If they ever turn on, it means we need to go back here and investigate, because the problem is if we run out of these potions in this chest and then in this hopper right here they start to disappear, what's going to happen is the blaze powder is going to start sending items through into the next bit. So up here we have a detector. Did I make sense there? The blaze powder will start going into these spaces, right? And then that causes all sorts of problems as we run out of water bottles. So this chest right here, if ever this becomes empty because the only thing it has in it is water bottles, then it is going to activate this redstone torch down here, which will turn on both of those lamps, which indicates to us we need to walk up here and use this thing. Now it's been fully stocked, but there are some hoppers here to pick up the water bottles. All you got to do is hold some of these like in your inventory and right click on the block and it will fill it up in the water and drop it into the hopper. And so there's lighting up here, and that's all sort of done. And then I've been wrapping this path around the side here, getting a little bit carried away with my building, and seeing that what we need to do is figure out what is going to go in this wall over here. We've got an idea over there for a melon farm, and then somewhere around here it's going to have to sort of wrap round on itself and be a staircase down to the next level, which looks like it's going to be somewhere around here. Something like that, which is quite wide and open. Initially it was going to be just sandstone, which would be 2 blocks wide, so then I thought, well, I'll do the spruce as well going down, and then I wanted to make this line up like that instead of having 2 blocks here, so now it's 5 blocks wide. Maybe we'll go back and make it just a 3 block wide staircase. But another concern is lighting around here. I don't really want to have torches or something obvious, and maybe we can put some lighting in the wall down here to help. But there is a lot of space here that's basically not close to anything other than the floor itself, and I didn't really want to just throw light sources in here, as the sandstone looks really nice, but that is how this area is coming along. I'm getting my fly time up on the server, and we're flying over through Beef's area because I set him up this little portal over here. I hope he notices it. It's not intended to be permanent. I just asked him if he wanted a nether portal, and he said, sure thing, something like that. So yeah, it says feel free to move me, and if we go through here, what I've done is just basically hooked him up with a temporary portal leading into the nether hub, so it isn't confusing for him. So it's just this right here, you know, stone. Basically rip out the walls, rip out the ceiling, rip out the floor, but you'll know exactly where this tunnel needs to go. So now Beef has this little section right here, and one of the things that we really need to do is to getting an armor stand and put his little head in somewhere over here. I'm aiming at you. I'm aiming at you with a slice of beef in front of my face. This wouldn't go down very well in real life, would it? This game is just so derpy. If you've enjoyed this one, please do leave a like, because that's going to be it from me this episode. We've had a lot of fun. I feel like I've had a lot of fun, especially in the end, getting all of that dragon's breath. Well and truly worth the time. But that is going to be it for this one. So, thank you for watching, as always, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.